Good morning and welcome to ATI ProMedia Report Day. We've got a WASDE out at 11, and we've got a lot of news headlines to bring you this morning. State of the Union address yesterday, reported 11. Exports, we saw cancellations again, new jobs number, unemployment rate, and then also we will look at the 30% chance of traders cutting the Fed rate. And so with that, I'm going to bring in my coworker. We've got Tommy Grisafi is away. He'll be joining us back this afternoon. So with that, let's bring in Brady Huck.
Connor, good morning.
Good morning. How are we doing today?
We got a big day today. I made it through the State of the Union without falling asleep last night. We got the WASDE here in a couple hours.
Right.
We'll see
it's
what
going
the
to be a big day.
Have in store for us.
Let's start with that. Let's talk State of the Union address. Give me your opinion. I watched most of it. To Biden's credit, he got through all of it. The rhetoric, it felt like I was more paying attention to how he would say it, how he would do it than the rhetoric. It kind of felt, he got a lot of his points across, really gearing up for his future campaign. But then what were your thoughts when you watched it?
Very similar, paying attention to his mannerisms, what if he could actually make it through the hour-long speech. And if he made it through, I made it through. Connor, did you make it through without falling asleep?
I can't lie to you. I didn't. I had to watch the tail end of it and the Republican rebuttal. I watched it this morning.
Yeah. But big campaign speech, pumping headlines and political rhetoric. There's only so much of that I can listen to and take, and it is what it is. But on to the
Very, very bipartisan. We saw a lot of Democrats were a lot of cheering, a lot of sitting by the Republicans. So we got through it. I can't think of any other main headlines. So let's keep moving on if you want. First thing
one of the biggest, the corporate trickle-down taxes, less taxes on the middle class, but we're going to tax the corporations more, and just the trickle-down. We went from trickle-down to trickle-down taxes. Be my thought there. Interesting.
Right. Yeah, good points. So other news, we had a cancellation again. We saw a flash sale, not what we wanted to see, Brady. 110,000 metric tons of soft red winter wheat delivery to China for 23-24 canceled. And so not what we want to see. I think you said you thought it was a typo that we saw this 2 days in a row. But yeah.
I opened up my computer and saw that as a headline and thought, has my email refreshed or not? Was this the same as yesterday or different email?
Yeah. And so look at wheat doesn't seem too bothered. It is positive. Corn, beans down a little bit, repositioning in front of that report, down 5. We've got soybeans down 7. And so we'll look at that, right? Not what we wanted to see, but it's a good reminder that these flash sales, right, until it's actually delivered, it's just kind of a promise. As Joe said before the show, it feels a little bit like monopoly money sometimes.
Certainly. Yep.
So, other thing, let's pound through these headlines, and then we'll get to our WASDE predictions. But unemployment rate jumped 3.9% to 3.7%. This is a big deal, Brady. Not what we wanted to see, and I would say definitely not what the current administration wanted to see during that State of the Union address. So bigger number we saw there. And then I think with that, we need Tommy Grisafi. He's the one that talks about looking at the Fed rate and looking at that 30-day. What is the 5-year? I think it was at 4.1, close to a 30-day low, but I'll let Tommy make sure when he's on, he can talk much more about that. And so then jobs report, here we go, Brady. 275,000 jobs added versus 198 expected. Awesome. Way to go. But wait, we revised January's number, right? We had a monster February number, 353,000, revised lower to 229,000, down 35%. We've seen this for, I think, 6-7 months where we have a big jobs number. It's revised lower the month before.
Same song and dance. Yeah. Over and over again. Big, impressive number. And then we go back and revise last month's number under the radar. Mangold sent us a chart a couple months ago that really illustrated that well. I wish we had a fresh one here to share with you. We'll try to get that out to you guys later.
Yeah, absolutely. And it every time when we talk the jobs number, it blows my mind that we can just revise that number lower. Imagine if we were doing that every single month with a WASDE report or any type of USDA report, I would be up in arms. But that's how the jobs report is. They have a big number. So looking at that 275,000 jobs, I don't think the trade's going to pay attention until the next month. So
got to keep that eraser handy, right? It's not written in pen; it's written in pencil, and we got to have a big eraser.
absolutely, absolutely. And so along those same lines, what I was trying to say in my monologue is then that June rate cut now is only a 30% chance. It continues to dwindle, right? 4 or 5 months ago, the trade was looking for a potential rate cut in March. That's not going to happen. And now we're going all the way out to June before we really have any material chance. So 30% chance that continues to dip lower. And so, with that, if you don't have anything else, Brady, let's talk WASDE. And then, real quick, we'll be going live again at 10:50, 10:55 to break down the live numbers, really give you a live prediction of what the numbers are going to do. And then we'll pay attention to the price action. Then at 1:30, we've got the A team coming in. We've got Brian Bastine, Kent Stutzman, Nathan Mangold. They're really going to take a deep dive into the numbers, break it down. So make sure to tune in for that one. So with that, let's pull up the WASDE numbers. Okay, what numbers jump out at you first, Brady?
Well, you always got to wonder what they're going to do with the U.S. balance sheet. Kind of the corn carryout. The trade's looking for a 2.15 average guess for the carryout versus 2.17 last year. On the bean side, 315 last month and looking for a 319. So maybe a slight revision on that average estimate, but very much both of those numbers are in line with last month's. Relatively little change. Most of the change is going to come on the demand side, ethanol exports. See what gets printed there. I think the biggest focus to me is that bottom table down there, South America. What are we going to see down there? Big discrepancy with CONAB and USDA on the corn side of things. The average analyst, it seems to be they're looking for a smaller Brazil bean crop in this report. Pretty big adjustment. Last month, the USDA was at 156, and the average guess is 152.8. So a sizable reduction there that we hope the USDA does not disappoint the trade. Maybe they'll print a smaller number and surprise us and keep this rally going.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. I think if we're looking for the potential bullish numbers, things that I want to get excited about, it's going to be those South America corn beans number, right? The carry out looking at corn, soybeans, wheat, we could absolutely see some surprises, but I would really like to see not a whole lot of big changes because we do have end of March, we've got that acreage report. And so we've had a good positive week. As I said, the market's down a little bit today, but I don't want to see something that really cancels that headwind. Let's see if we can keep building momentum.
24 corn's up 20 cents off the low. It's great to see. Good bounce there. Absolutely. And we got the WASDE today, and we got the CONAB on Tuesday. So we'll get some fresh USDA numbers today, and then we'll see what CONAB does next week. We go from report to report all the time, right?
Right. And again, we've talked about it a lot. Cesar Cruz is great about showing us the numbers. The discrepancy between CONAB, especially corn, versus USDA corn, but also on the bean front. Joe, can you pull that back in? Those numbers. Go back. Yep, right there. If we look at that CONAB number is at, where's that CONAB corn at, Brady? 113.
Or the corn number. You're talking corn. Okay.
Yep. 113.7, where the USDA has it at a 124. Huge discrepancy. And I don't know if we really know why and what changed, because previous years they were almost right in line. These past 3-4 years, we've seen that divergence in those corn B numbers. So interesting to see going forward. Are we going to see CONAB tick up? Are we going to see USDA tick down? Or are we going to keep that gap moving forward?
Yep.
And so, no, Joe, pull that back up for me. And then just looking at this, I love talking about this every WASDE, every USDA report, is let's just look at the historical price action of the March WASDE. And as you can see, we've had some up days, had some down days. 2014, right? Let's make sure we don't have another one of those, Brady. Negative days. But so historically, when I looked at this, it was more of a market mover than I really thought. When I think March WASDE, I don't think any big numbers, right? My focus is that end of March acreage report. but we've seen some decent price action historically. So
sometimes it's the one you're not paying attention to that catches you off guard, right, Connor? And maybe this is
absolutely.
that one.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so I think with that, we got a few comments. Premium, I think Tommy and Dave Lechtenberg did a fantastic show yesterday, just looking at old crop and USDA. Dave Lechtenberg, one of the best. Make sure to tune into that one if you're one of our freshly new premium subscribers, right? We're first week down. And
the website's live, so you can go in and sign up for premium content today. And I think you'll get that episode as well if you sign up today. If you want that also, and the website's not working, shoot us an email at info@atipromedia.com, and we'll make sure and get it to you ahead of the report.
Absolutely. So we got a few questions. Farmer Brett, good morning. You guys think we will get more than 2 rate cuts this year? Brett, right now, as we're shaping up, right, 30% chance in June, it's going to have to, if we're getting 2, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's going to be at the very end of the year, right? Even if we get one kind of pre-election, right, it's going to be delayed. So right now, I'm kind of just hoping for 1 before we see 2. But I think we've got a long way to go before we can start talking about that. Jay Powell's been very clear. He's going to wait and see what the economy does before we start talking rate cuts, and so it'll be a wait and see approach. Next question: Would rate cut?
You go ahead.
Go ahead, Brady.
Would rate cuts help or hurt commodity prices? Well, rates coming down, I think that maybe support. It depends why they're cutting rates, in my opinion. If the stock market's falling apart, inflation's ramping up or not ramping up, I really don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah. Commodity prices, I don't know if there's a big correlation, but if we're looking at farm economy and how it helps your balance sheet, I think we want that rate cut to go down, right? Especially if we see the next couple years of these lower prices, maybe borrowing goes up. We want to see a little bit better number, me personally, when we're looking at the farm. So I think rates cuts going down, we'll see it. Other one, you got to love this question. Pull it up. Tommy's gone this morning. Run wild, Brady.
Run wild, Brady. Oh, gosh, Luke, I love it. Yep.
Let's do it. Give us a monologue, what we got on cattle, and then we'll wrap this up, Brady.
Yep. Cattle had a fantastic day yesterday, jumping up. We saw cash bids push a little higher. There was a big bid-ask discrepancy, wide bid-ask, 183 to 186, and we saw packers push those bids a little higher, and that supported the cattle market yesterday. And they're out of the guns hot again this morning. It's great to see the cattle market push higher. Choice cutout, we've seen a lot of volatility in that market. But we climbed back up as well yesterday too. So good to see the cutout moving higher. Good to see packers pushing bids, and that's really what's cash drives futures, and we're seeing that in the real market, in the real world.
Yeah, awesome. Well, join us again 10:55. Brady, let's get out of here. I'll see you again, and we'll see what this March WASDE brings.
Sounds good. We'll see you here at 10:55.
All right, have a good one.
Thanks for joining us. We're here every day, 9 a.m. Central. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.